This is tanks but no tanks.
Ahoy, everyone. I'm Captain Nathan Buffett.
And I'm Shane Cianciolo. We're here seeking $105,000 for 20% equity in our business.
Corks away.
Now you can hear Robert that's Robert giving a little chuckle.
Gives a generous chuckle.
As these two guys walk into the room, because they do present like sort of a comical...
They're dressed in sailor outfits.
Yeah, one is wearing a captain's hat. That's the captain, Nathan. He has kind of a scruffy red beard. His crewmate is sort of a Sebastian Bach type. He looks like he maybe did a lot of stuff to his hair in the 80s that is now permanent.
Sort of. Yeah.
They both sort of look like the fun counselors at summer camp. Who like are really just like friends with the kids, but the other counselors don't really like them that much.
Who like get fired for smoking weed halfway through the summer,
right.
And you're kind of like, this is BS, man, and you start to like stage sort of a protest thing with the other campers, but then it just falls apart and you make s'mores.
So their business is called Corks Away. They're asking for $105,000 for 20% of their company, which means it's worth $525,000. The 105 sounds to me like they were gonna ask for 100, but they wanted to sound like they maybe put some math into it.
Yeah. So every time you see sort of a weird number hanging on instead of just a nice round number like 100,000, you know that they want you to feel like they did a very specific valuation.
100,000 is embarrassing. It's too round. But
yeah, it sounds like you're guessing.
5,000, you wonder what the algorithm is.
You go, oh, wow, these guys crunch the numbers.
These guys are clearly math guys.
They're crunching numbers.
So let's hear a little more about what their product is.
People come from all over the world to experience our amazing wine adventure on the high seas. Your wine host serves and explains each of the 4 wines and appetizers that are presented to you during your ride. Now, this allows you to relax and enjoy your time out on the water.
So these guys have a boat. They do some kind of wine cruise. There's a bit at the end there when the captain Nathan is talking about relaxing. It really brings out sort of the inadequacies of the podcast medium. Yeah, because he does a physical bit.
He goes to kick his arms behind his head as if he is relaxing on like a lounge chair.
Yeah, when he's saying relax, he's got his arms behind his head.
And
he starts bringing his arms down.
But he pauses briefly in a muscle man pose.
On the way down.
Because his arms are up there and he thinks, hell, I'm in good shape. I'm on national television.
Yeah, why not just give it to him?
Give him a little show. Maybe we get Barbara on the hook this way.
So that's that and he flashes Barbara a big toothy grin. So yeah, it's a wine cruise. It's clearly the kind of thing that like these guys have done on a small scale, and probably like a bunch of old people in the beach community where they live
they've successfully been able to get a lot of enough customers to really feel like, okay, this thing's ready to expand, and we want to get an investor. Where's the best place to go? You go to Shark Tank,
right?
Especially when you got a personality.
So at this point, I'm saying, thanks for telling me a little more, giving me some more information, so I can make my final decision.
And thanks for doing that muscle man pose.
Right.
That let me know what's going on for you physically, and I like it.
So here's Shane, sort of the first mate, discussing one of their featured appetizers on the cruise.
One of our specialty appetizers is the renowned pesto torte. A delicious-looking morsel, no?
Whoa!
What a great laugh. They had, I think it was spontaneous.
It sounded like a couple of French chefs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what
I'm
glad you said that. That's just what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are doing things that we've never really seen.
Seamlessly blended into an accent that was perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know what their acting background is.
You wonder why more people don't bring characters to the show and like choreographed comedy bits like that, because it's really effective.
It was a slam dunk. And at this point I'm thinking, thanks for doing those jokes.
Yeah. My issue is that maybe they might be a little too alt for a network sensibility. They're on ABC, and it seems like the kind of stuff they're doing.
It's sort of
IFC, Adult Swim,
kind of FX.
Yeah,
Adult
I see it on like a Delocate and Always Sunny, something like that.
Maybe Epics.
Right.
I see it on the Epics channel. That's
places
a home
where you can really go
like
to that place
the Epics channel
that makes some people uncomfortable.
Channel,
I love it.
Stars,
but it's not for all sensibilities. So that's my only note there. Otherwise, I'm still fully tanks. Let's hear a little bit more. The guys talk about how they have a 4-stage process, and right now they're in stage 2. Stage 1 was proof of concept. So now Shane continues with stage 2.
Stage 2 is expansion, and we've found that we can expand this business into a franchise for captains who need a way to make money. For $175,000, we will give you a boat. We also give you the business plan to work the boat.
So that's your franchise model.
We make our money.
Sell the guy the boat for $175. What do you pay for it?
The boat only costs us $35,000.
And you're gonna sell it to the skipper for $175?
With our business plan, yes.
What? Whoa.
Now, I just want to play that one more time because Shark Tank rarely brings out, just the end there, the echo effect. And if you listen to Mark's they actually do push the echo button on this one. Listen close.
With our business plan, yes.
What? Whoa.
You hear that?
Yeah.
When they bust out the echo, that's when you know something's
I think
going
they
down.
took him off set and had him say it into the Grand Canyon because he was so shocked. And then what happened is they got the sound bouncing around.
So these guys want to sell boats basically at a 400% markup based on the premise that their idea of a wine cruise, which is really all it is.
4-course wine cruise.
It's the idea of having a wine cruise.
Yeah. It's for captains who need to make a little extra money. So we estimate probably about 1/3 to 2/3 of our listeners are captains.
Sure.
In between boat jobs.
Right.
Why not get your own boat? It's only going to cost you 4 times more than a boat normally would.
And while you could just go out and buy a boat for $35,000, why not have someone tell you that you could do a wine cruise on it for another $140,000?
And they might loan you a little bit of their patter. They might loan you some of that French chef routine.
So that's stage 2. I want to reserve my tanks or no tanks judgment until we hear. We've got 2 more stages.
Yeah,
to go.
Maybe the next stages prove, I'm the idiot. They really have it figured out.
Right. So let's hear Shane talk about stage 3.
Stage 3?
Stage 3 is actually to go to our pesto torte, which you're trying there. And stage 4,
pesto torte fee.
And
very quick blow by on to stage 4. He goes, stage 3 is to go to our pesto torte, which you're trying there. So you know what that stage's about.
Anyway,
stage 4, it's almost as if he doesn't want you to ask him any more questions about stage 3. Go to our pesto
He's
torte.
hustling to get to stage 4. Barbara stops him cold, and he's forced to explain that their plan, after they expand Corks Away, is to take the pesto torte appetizer, basically to serve it on the cruises, get people talking about the pesto torte, and then sell the pesto torte to supermarkets.
As if anyone who can drive a boat can get a bunch of fridge space at a major supermarket chain. It's just like, yeah, of course. Yeah, we're going to keep doing the boat thing and then
it's a direct
put some
path
stuff at the
for,
supermarket.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to get anything in the freezer is to drive it around on a boat.
It's just such a separate. It's
the pesto torte thing was the moment, I think is probably the case for a lot of people, where I stopped believing that this was a real company and had to Google it to ensure that this was not some kind of trick that the show was pulling.
How'd that come out?
I mean, they are real. They have a television ad. They work out of something called Naples Bay, which I assume, I guess it's in Florida. It's in Long Beach. I'm not familiar with Naples Bay, but that's what they're here in Los Angeles with us right now. We have one more. I'm a little sad. We're down to one more stage, but because the pesto torte is not enough. It's not endgame for these guys, and so here they are talking about stage 4.
And stage 4, if you want to know, it's to make an indoor dinner ride in Las Vegas.
Whoa.
You pried it out of them. Stage 4, if you must know.
I mean, of course, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, they want to make an indoor dinner ride?
They want to do some stupid thing on like the dumb ocean for like a few years, and then what the real game is to put it inside.
The dream of every sea captain is to eventually be on a boat inside a fake structure.
Instead of dumb old outside.
Yeah, where you can really just take in that sweet Vegas air and serve wine to the true sophisticates.
Yeah, I picture it being sort of a Splash Mountain vibe with like animatronic
like sort of beavers and stuff that
or maybe
come
like
trotting out.
A Pirates of the Caribbean type of presentation.
Right, the dog's holding the keys in his mouth.
Right.
And then
these guys, it seems like their idea of how businesses work is only from watching Shark Tank. I think they have watched Shark Tank before, and they're saying, well, all these other guys are going on the show and only pitching one business. The thing that you got to do is you got to pitch all different kinds of businesses at once.
They're afraid that the sharks are thinking, oh, you want us to invest in your boat, but we don't get a cut of your pesto torte
Why are you holding out on the real cash cow, which is the pesto torte? Like once that goes in freezers, are we going to get to see that? Are we going to get to see any of that money?
So you guys are living high off the hog, eating pesto tortes, and we're sunk investing in this boat business, which only makes a lot of money instead of a disgusting amount of money.
Right. I think that's smart. So I mean, there's no question that these guys are getting a no tanks across the board.
No tanks is going to hit them square in the jaw.
That's tanks, but no tanks.